You could still see my butt.
I like that you were looking at me and I was looking at them. Welcome back. You want to do it again? Welcome back. Oh God. Oh no. Oh my ass.
Zoya. Oh.
Welcome back. We are
Shelf Possessed.
I'm Craig.
And I'm David.
And we're so excited that you came back and that you joined us. This is our July TBR video and our surprise TBR reveal. It went well last month. We both really liked our choices. I liked mine more than he liked his, but that's okay. And maybe that will shift this month. So
I think it's going to shift this month.
Yeah, we'll see. So we're going to reveal our July TBR choices for you, and then we'll do our surprise TBR reveal, and then we have a special surprise at the end of the video for you as well. So we're going to jump right into it. We're just going to get started. We'll go one at a time, reveal our TBR choices, and then we'll exchange our gifts and open them up for you. All right?
All right.
You excited for this month?
I am. I'm excited to get into some new books.
Yeah, you have some good choices and some things that I think are going to stretch you a little bit.
And I think with both of the choices that we picked, I mean, you could have read these too. I could have read yours. Yeah. I mean, it's good overall.
And we do have one book that we're both going to read together. So just like last month, we're going to read another book at not the same time, but we'll both read the book and talk about that. So it's on our TBR as well. Okay. So, you ready to
go ahead?
Oh, I'm doing mine first?
Go ahead.
Okay. If you watched our book buying, book haul, independent bookstore video, you saw this book already, but it is The Other Black Girl. I am about a month behind everybody else, but I am super excited to get started with this book. And in fact, I almost started reading it the other day, but didn't. So I'm saving it till July 1st, and then I'm going to start it that day. So if you've not heard of The Other Black Girl, it is a Publishing World office thriller. There's a young black girl who works in an office, and she is the only black girl for a long time until the other black girl shows up, and some weird stuff starts happening to her and around the office. And it's been described as a thriller, as a kind of a new take on the genre, which I'm really excited to get into. So, Zakiya, Dalila Harris, The Other Black Girl is my number one choice for July.
Mine was also in our kind of book haul video. It is Mieko Kawakami's Heaven. Now, I cheated a little bit and I started reading this just about a day and a half ago. And I have to tell you that if I would have read this book about 2 weeks prior, this would have been on my favorite 6 books that we did earlier. This would have made that list. And I think it's going to make the end of the year best list for me. 2 outsiders bullied at school. They kind of form this kind of tight bond and relationship, and that's where I've gotten so far. But the writing is just perfect, and it's beautiful, and
it's translated from Japanese, correct?
Yes. So I'm ready to finish this tonight.
Yeah,
this is what I'm ready to. But it's glorious.
Yeah, and the cover is beautiful. So
yeah,
depending on how he feels about it, that may end up on my TBR later this year too. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's good. Very good.
So I have a theme kind of apparently running through my TBR. Most of them are going to be thrillers because I needed a little bit of a cleansing of my palette, a little bit, I guess. So, but my theme is Publishing World thrillers. So this is Who is Maud Dixon by Alexandra Andrews. So I've heard a lot about this book, and I bought it like 2 months ago, I think. And I haven't picked it up yet. I've had other things that obviously I wanted to read, but I decided to throw this in there with The Other Black Girl to see how they compare, if they're similar at all. This is, let's see, It's a low-level publishing employee who believes that she's destined to be a famous writer. She stumbles into a job as an assistant to a novelist known as Maud Dixon, whose true identity is a secret. So it's kind of about this girl who's going to figure out who this actual author is. So I'm excited to read it. I love the cover. I'm excited to read Who is Maud Dixon by Alexandra Andrews as well.
My next pick is by Chelsea G. Summers, and that is A Certain Hunger. All I have to say about this book is feminist American Psycho. That is it. Mm-hmm. And that's what sold me. That's all I needed to hear to buy this book. This has been on our shelves for quite a while, mm-hmm. and now I knew that I just needed to dive in and read it. So I'm interested in it. They do call it a very darkly funny novel, read like a feminist horror version of American Psycho.
It's funny because when you hold it up, the first thing I see is on the back and it says, "Move aside, Bret Easton Ellis." So
I'm excited for that. Yeah. So we'll see.
That may end up on my TBR as well next month.
Unless it's disgusting.
Right. If it's super gory and kind of gross, I probably won't read it, but
I'll still read it.
Yeah.
I'm always interested in how, let's say, newspapers or even writers kind of describe certain novels. Like, I think The Other Black Girl, it was like an edgier Devil Wears Prada. So when you post that or when you put that on your book, that's what I'm expecting.
Yeah.
So it better be like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, false advertising is a thing. We experienced it. If you watched our last video, Yes Daddy was a prime example of false advertising. And we were told one thing and did not get that. And so that was a real problem for both of us. Mm-hmm. That when you're buying books, the only thing you have to go off of are reviews or the way that the publisher is describing them or how other like newspapers are describing them. And so you're having to kind of use some of that to inform your book buying choices. And sometimes those things are just completely off, and it's kind of bothersome to me in some ways. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So those are our main books that we've both chosen individually, and then our together pick. We don't have a copy of it because as of recording, it doesn't come out until tomorrow. So we will have a copy, but we'll put a picture right here, and that is Survive the Night by Riley Sager. A scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for this book?
I'm very excited. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10?
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
I've been waiting all year.
Yeah. You've heard us talk about this before, and the expectations for this book are very high because we are both big fans of all of his other books, except for one you haven't read, Last Time I Lied, right?
No. That should be on my list, too, because that's a good summary.
Well, and you have 2 shorter ones, so maybe you could throw it in there.
Yeah, I also
have
Monster, too.
Yeah. So when it comes out, we will buy it and both read it. I've heard nothing but good things. All the pre-reviews I've seen have been really, really good and said that it's great. His books are thrilling. They're page-turners. They move quickly. The pacing is strong. Like, I think they're phenomenal.
You're engaged.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And I love his writing style, and I love his kind of aesthetic. And he writes amazingly, wonderfully rounded female characters, which I'm really loving. Mm-hmm. So... yeah, that's our together pick. That's Survive the Night by Riley Sager. Mm-hmm. All right, the time has come. Mm-hmm. Are you ready to reveal?
Oh.
We both have our wrapped surprise TBR choices for the other one. You can tell it's July, so we're celebrating Christmas in July with this Christmas wrapping paper. If you didn't watch the last video, we each pick one book for the other person. We wrap it up and we don't tell them what it is. When we do our TBR video, then we unwrap them on camera with you so you can see what our surprise TBR choice is. Okay, Santa. I went first last time, so I think I want you to go first this time.
Open it first?
Yeah, open it first. There you go.
Well, it's a hardcover.
It's a hardcover, that's true. I did such a good job wrapping it.
It was wrapped so well.
I have very few skills in this world, but that's one of them.
Oh.
You know what it is?
Baby teeth.
What do you think about that?
We need to talk about Kevin meets Gone Girl meets The Omen. Like I said before, if you're going to put that on there, Entertainment Weekly, it better be like this.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's the first thing that I saw. But other than that, I'm like, okay, if it has all of those elements, then yes.
Yeah.
Sure. Do you have goosebumps yet? You'll be desperate to discuss the ending. Deliciously creepy. A delirious read. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, we talked about that book a little bit when we talked about, in our 6 favorites of 2021 so far, we talked about The Push by Ashley Audrain, and a lot of people have compared this book to The Push. You mentioned that you wanted to read The Push, so I thought, let's do this one first and then see how you feel about it. I think it's about a woman who has a child, and the child is like the devil. Or evil in some way.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Baby teeth.
He asked for something under 300 pages, and I gave him one that's 301.
Oh, great. Okay.
I just got it almost perfectly. So.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
My
you
turn?
Ready?
I guess.
Look, it's like a little purse.
It is. Walk into the room, purse first. You rapped better this time.
Well, I mean, I rap good all the time.
I kind of anticipated that you would choose this, given what we've talked about. So, I have gotten The Hating Game by Sally Thorne, which you read already, right? Mm-hmm. And you liked?
I did. It was a good palate cleanser between 2 heavy reads that I was reading at the time. So, yeah.
This is a subgenre of the romance genre that I haven't gotten into as much, which is the hate to love thing. So I'm kind of excited to read this because I'm heavy on the thrillers this month, and now I have a romance to go with.
That's why I picked it for you.
Yeah.
Look at the back. Just look at the back. It's a good fluffy. It makes you. It's like eating a big bowl of cotton candy, gummy bears, a root beer float type of book.
So it's about 2 people who work together who absolutely hate each other, and then they're up for the same promotion. Mm-hmm. And then they have to kind of battle it out and probably, assuming, eventually fall in love.
Is that in publishing too? I forgot.
They sit across from each other, executive assistants to co-CEOs of a publishing company.
There's a theme!
There is
a theme.
Unintended theme.
I had no idea.
So my surprise choice is The Hating Game by Sally Thorne, which I'm excited to read. I'm not. This doesn't scare me. I'm not daunted by this, so that's great. Mm-hmm. So
it's not Tolstoy.
Yeah, he made a joke asking if I wanted the biography of Lincoln, Hamilton, or Ulysses S. Grant, which are 600-page books at least. So I'm glad that I got this and not that.
And they're my favorite books.
Yeah. All right, we have one final piece of the puzzle to add to our July TBR. Not only are these books that we are going to read this month, but this is going to be the start of a new video series that we're going to do every month. And we're super excited to introduce it to you. Mm-hmm. So before we introduce what the series is, let's talk about what the books are. Okay, and what we're going to read. Okay. I'll do mine first, and then you do yours.
Okay.
All right. I have 3 more additions to my TBR. So this makes my TBR personally 7, right? These additional 3 books are going to be added to the rest of the books I'm reading. So that takes my total up to 7 books this month. The first one is Switched by R.L. Stine, which is a Fear Street novel. This is one of my favorite Fear Street novels. You probably won't be able to see this, but my name is written on this. This is actually from when I was a teenager. I made an effort as a teenager to own all of these books. So my number 5 book is Switched by R.L. Stine. My number 6 book is Cheerleaders, The First Evil by R.L. Stine, which is also a Fear Street book. There's a theme. Can you see it? Can you tell what the theme is? And my last book is another book by R.L. Stine, Silent Night 3, which is a Fear Street super chiller. My favorite series of all time is Silent Night. And so those are my 3 choices. My last 3 choices are these 3 R.L. Stine Fear Street novels.
That is so weird because I also have Fear Street books as well. I did not pick these books because they were my favorite R.L. Stine Fear Street books. I picked these because I'm in love with the cover of these books. Okay, so the first one is my favorite. It's Halloween Party with that floating pumpkin head. I love that. Look at that. Isn't that so silly? But I love it so much.
Perfect cover.
Look at that. Okay, so that's Halloween Party. The second one is because this is sort of what I look like when I wake up in the morning. This is the Sleepwalker. Look at that.
I love that cover.
How gorgeous that is.
Yeah, that's one of the very first ones too. Yeah. I think it's book 3 actually.
I want that on a T-shirt. Yeah. And then my last one is also a super chiller book. It's Party Summer because 'tis the season, right? So Party Summer, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that, and then there's all mine, right there.
What you don't see is on one of our bookshelves is an entire shelf just dedicated to Fear Street books because I personally own a lot of them. I think they're all mine actually, aren't they?
I think so.
Yeah. So the reason we're doing this is because we have a new series happening every month that we're going to start in July, and it is called The Books That Made Us, ... So every month we will discuss books that made us something. So this month we're discussing the books that made us readers, the books that made us want to read more as kids. And for me, it's Fear Street 100% all the way. These are the first books that I remember picking up at the library. These are the first books I remember begging my parents to buy me. So every month we are going to dive deep into some books that made us. And we are going to be adding those to our TBR, reading them, discussing them in a separate video. So you'll see these in our wrap-up video at the end of the month because they'll be part of what we read. But the dedicated series where we actually talk about these books is going to be in the books that made us. But we also picked these for another reason. Do you want to tell them why?
We're going to get the Fear Street films this coming month. Not one film, okay? Not 2 films, but 3 films every Friday in July. That's what I'm excited. It's almost like 30 years in the making. Yeah. There's always been talk about that Hollywood was going to do a Fear Street movie, Fear Street series. It took so long. Yeah. And now here it is on a platter for us R.L. Stine and Fear Street fans.
Yeah. So we're going to not only be reading these books. Now, these books have probably nothing to do with those movies at all, I don't think. In fact, we can't really get a good grasp on what books the actual movies are based on, except for like the third one, which I think is pretty obvious what book that is based on. So we're going to read these books, talk about the books, and then we're going to kind of look at and watch the movies and talk about the movies and what we felt about them. I have been waiting since I was 11 years old to have a Fear Street movie. I'm still really surprised that they made the Goosebumps movie first.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that series was probably more popular than Fear Street, but Fear Street is like, it's like in my DNA.
Talk about Christmas in July.
Yeah. We have a lot to read this month and a lot to watch this month, but I haven't been more excited to read books in a long time. These books I'm like stoked to read. Like, I think tonight I'm gonna Fear Street is a huge part of our lives. So we're excited to do that video series, to read the books, to watch the movies. Like, we're getting a lot this month. So my July TBR is The Other Black Girl by Zakiya Dalila Harris, Who is Mon Dixon by Alexandra Andrews, The Hating Game by Sally Thorne, Survive the Night by Riley Sager, Cheerleaders, The First Evil by R.L. Stine, Switched by R.L. Stine, and Silent Night 3 by R.L. Stine. Those 7 books right there are what I'm going to attempt to get through in July. It's daunting, but it looks like it's fun.
So my picks for July are Mieko Kawakami's Heaven. That's my first one. Followed by Chelsea G. Summers' A Certain Hunger. And Zoya's Stages' Baby Teeth. And then I'm going to finish it out with Fear Street, of course, Party Summer, Halloween Party, my favorite, and The Sleepwalker.
You got some parties going on in yours.
A lot.
Yeah. Mine are kind of holiday based. And yours are more party-based.
Holiday-based in the publishing world.
Yeah, that's our theme for the month. So
there we go.
Well, those are our TBRs. We're super excited that you came back and joined us. We are so grateful to those that have subscribed and have already kind of joined us in the comments and engaged with us and followed us on Instagram, which is
shelf_possessed. Reach out to us. Tell us what you're reading. Yeah. Tell us what your TBR is for July.
Thank you for coming again. We will check back in later this month with our Books That Made Us series. We have a few more reading vlogs coming up and some book buying vlogs coming up, and then our July wrap-up. So we hope you'll come back. We hope you'll join us. Smash that button below. Check out the description box for links to buy all of these books, and come back and see us again. So thanks for coming. We'll see you soon.
Bye.